You. Yeah! Yeah! Down! Close your damn mouth, Democrat! Look!
Tell me what just happened and why you took part.
Hi, my name is Anthony. I took part in a peaceful demonstration of how they're treating prisoners at CCOT. I think it's important right now because these are fundamental rights that are being abused. Right now, we live in a fascist state where people without masks, without identification with masks, are kidnapping people. They're taking them away without any due process. This is simply fascism. There's no other way to look at it.
I am Mexican American, so it is very personal to me. I'm fortunate that my family came right, like how they call it, the right way. But a lot of people don't have that privilege. Not everyone has the funds for it. Not everyone, I think, not everyone has like the same access to certain programs to get here. Not everyone has the time to get here, which I think a lot of people don't understand. And I mean, just bottom line, the fact that this is even happening in California, which inherently is indigenous to Mexican people, or Mexican people are indigenous to this land, that just on top of the injustice that it already is, just on a human level, the fact that this is my ancestors cultivated this land.
What did it feel like to put this outfit on and to kneel?
I was crying. I know a lot of the other demonstrators were crying as well. It's only a simple little taste of what they're going through. I can't imagine, genuinely, to be stripped of my human dignity like that, just because some people are immigrants, and it's gonna turn to you next.
It's dehumanizing. It's, and I'm here voluntarily, right? So if even I can feel that, I can't even imagine what somebody who's actually genuinely going through it is feeling. And you know, like I was telling one of the other participants, it's uncomfortable for us to be out here kneeling on the concrete. You know, we're still feeling the burning on our legs. But I was sitting there going like, okay, I'm uncomfortable, this hurts, but I get to go home after this. I know where I'm gonna spend the night tonight.
It makes you feel like a ghost, you know, dressed in white. It just does. I feel like a ghost, and I get what they try to strip you. They try to strip what it means to be a human, to put you in a uniform. You know, they don't even have what we have today, which is why we're doing this. I'm doing this for humanity, for every human being, so that people can have what we had, which was the American dream, where you could come and you can live that American dream and start at the bottom and rise to the top. That's what the American dream is, and that's what Donald Trump is trying to get rid of, so now we're going to get rid of him.
Do you have a message for people who are seeing this? What do you want them to take from this?
I want you to come out, join us, share, just watch, participate, say something.
All right, so I'm out here. We just witnessed this living installation of the CCOT torture with Andy Zee. Welcome to the Revolution Nothing Less show, which you co-host.
Yeah, so thanks a lot. Look, this artistic display of the disappeared was so moving, and they did it was agonizing watching them with their. 3 people had their hair shaved off, and the screams felt real. It was from the heart, it was from the gut, it was from the brain, and I think this is something that has to be seen, and it demonstrates our key slogan in Refuse Fascism. In the name of humanity, we refuse to accept the fascist America. It just made that ring very true for people.
So one of the things that we have been talking about, and I know one of the things that Refuse Fascism Los Angeles was trying to bring to life, is that we are really in a state of emergency in this country. A fascist regime is in power, and we have been saying, look out, wake up, people. Trump is moving rapidly towards consolidating all-out fascist rule. That means no rights to the people, no rule of law that Trump is bound to respect. The Supreme Court has become itself an instrument of fascist atrocity, and there is no check on Trump's power or ruthlessness unless and until the masses of people stand up and act as that check and drive him from power. But I think this sense that we have gone from a place of sounding the alarm or needing to sound the alarm to a place of all-out emergency hasn't landed fully with the decent people of this country. And I wonder if you want to speak about that a little bit.
Well, I think, part of what I said out here today is, there has to be a tremendous challenge to people. But we have to act now. I mean, we've been calling on people to act with courage, to sacrifice, to stand up, to demand the Trump fascist regime must go now. We've been talking out and raising fists, as we should, and we should continue to. In the name of humanity, we refuse to accept a fascist America. But it is time to act in a way that is equal to the challenge that we face. And we need two kinds of things that have to come together, and then we have some plans to start that. One, we have to have a lot of non-compliance with the way they are enforcing this fascist regime, starting with ICE. And we're seeing some of that in Los Angeles, but that needs to get much, much broader. Thousands of people coming out. And it needs to be linked to the second demand that we have, that the Trump fascist regime must go now. We need to be building up the muscles, the organization, to move to the time when we can have millions in the street, to create a political crisis such that this regime is being forced from power, that it can no longer rule, it can no longer govern because of the continual upsurge. But these things have to come together. The resistance, we've been talking today about this. There's some group that might want to be moving the books back into a library where they've been banned. There's things in the hospitals where people are being denied health care. We heard from one of the actors here who's potentially losing her Medicaid through all of this. So there has to be a lot of non-compliance that's going on that has to be fused together with what we're actually calling for. So we're doing a couple things here in Los Angeles that I think people should know about around the country. One, first they came for the immigrants. I think this is beginning to sink into people. But what you see it right here in this artwork, which has been featured in pictures in the Los Angeles Times, and it was enacted out here. And these are all, father, brother, animal lover, business owner, mother, wife, volunteer, husband, father, business owner, friend, daughter, and sister. These are all human beings. We have to be able to act on this. And in East LA, which we're going to be marching in on Saturday, a march through East LA where people have been staying indoors, not going to their medical appointments. There's volunteers who are bringing food because people won't even go to the supermarket. People are afraid to appear at hearings. We heard lawyers today speaking about that. We're going right in there, raising this stand in the name of humanity. We refuse to accept a fascist America, and we're going in there saying the Trump fascist regime must go, and we're starting to put bodies on the line. And there you see it right there. The honking horns. And that's what we're going to be doing, actually. On Monday, the 28th, we're calling for around the country, lunch hour. Come out of the hospitals, come out of the schools where they're in session, come out of your workplaces, come out of your homes, and for 1 hour, make an angry and joyful noise. Bring your instruments, bring whistles, bring pots and pans, and for 1 hour, wake up your neighbors. Disturb the air, and then struggle with them to stand aside from this great moment is to be complicit in a great horror. And then we're going to do the same thing at 6 o'clock after work, and then we're going to do it again later in the week, and then every week we're going to be doing this. And this is what has to lead to the point of sustained protest with this one single demand: Trump must go now. And so what's starting on Monday is not just 2 hours of making some noise, but the beginning of that kind of process to the point where we can actually have that mass protest that is going to be needed. And part of how we're going to get there, again, is this non-compliance. So these two things are going to be working together.
All right. Well, thank you very much, Andy, for taking a minute. I know it's been a really heavy experience out here. It's been intense. There's been a lot going on, so I appreciate you taking a minute to talk with us and everybody watching on the Revolution Nothing Less show.